So you're new to Nikke, huh? Well, you're in luck because we're starting our beginner's guide. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all the things that you as a beginner of Nikke need to be aware of and what you should be doing. So make sure you guys subscribe to your boy Zxous because I'm lit. So you're asking yourself, what should you be doing as a new player? Well, it's quite simple. You would do what you do in any other gacha game. You progress through the campaign, right? It's a really simple like that. Now, the one thing you need to be aware of with Nikke is that you're going to hit a lot of caps and stops here and there early on to late game to mid game, wherever you want to go, right? Nikke is not a game where you just progress damn near from the beginning to the end of the game in a day. It's going to take some time, so as long as you have the patience, you're going to be able to get far in the game, right? This is the hard mode. There is obviously a hard and normal mode, but you're going to hit caps a lot, right? Of course, with the last dev note, Nikke actually said they're going to lower the power of the campaign to make it easier for newer players, so hopefully that does help. But at the time of the recording, you're going to hit walls left, right, and center when progressing. Not too much, but you're definitely going to notice it here and there. Let's talk about what everybody cares about the most. Summons, rerolls, who to get. Now, we're not actually going to be talking about who to get because that's not what this video is about. This is a beginner's guide. So I do want to let you guys know something about the summons because there is a mistake that a lot of you guys most likely will make if nobody tells you. So in Nikke, there are two different types of banners. You have the raid up banners, which are the, new character, new SSR banners that you see in a lot of other games. And then you have the regular pull. Now, after you do 4 multis in this game, you do actually unlock the wish list. And how the wish list works is that you can choose any non-limited character or pilgrim and put them on your wish list. 5 of each class, right? There's Missilus, Elysion, and Tetra, as you guys see here. You put them there, and then when you do summon on this banner, if you do get an SSR, you're guaranteed any of the characters from your wish list or a pilgrim, right? So you're basically building your banner, right? You get any of the pilgrims. Pilgrims are crazy in this game. I'm going to talk a bit more about them in a bit, but you're basically building a banner here, right? It is the same rate, right? It's 4%. How it works on these advanced banners, these limited banners, rate up banners, whatever you want to call them, they're actually 50-50. So Nikke is a game of 4% rates for an SSR on these banners. And then when it comes to non-pilgrim characters, I guess, they are all 2% rate up, so essentially 50-50. And I say non-pilgrim characters because when a pilgrim gets a banner, which is most likely Red Hood, and you probably know who I'm talking about by now because that banner is probably out, maybe not, this video might be before, I don't know, but Red Hood is a pilgrim, so she is going to be 1% rate up. So when they do have pilgrim banners, rather than them being 2% rate up like every other character that's not a pilgrim, they actually get 1% rate up. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, the good thing about Nikke is that they have pity. Now, if you guys take a look at the top there, there's 2 different types of pities, right? There is the golden mileage ticket, and then there are the silver mileage tickets. And these were completely different. And there's one big problem with Nikke that you're going to actually hate as well. So if you actually click the mileage shop button up here, they're going to take you to the mileage shop. And here you're going to see a bunch of characters. You're going to see a character and then a character's spare body. Now, the thing with this game is you can actually purchase the dupes of a character before owning the character, which is a bit silly in my opinion, right? It is silly. I don't understand why I'm able to buy a dupe for the character before owning the character, because for a lot of new players, this is going to be problematic. You might, have 200 silver tickets and think that you can buy Litter, who is one of the best characters in the game, top 3 easily, and think, oh, yes, this is her, I don't own her, I'm buying the new character. No, you're not. You're buying her dupe. And if you don't own the character, the dupe is not doing nothing for you. Now, when characters look like this, when they actually appear and they're not in this little coin, the spare body part, this means you're actually purchasing the character. Now, you might be asking, Zxous, what if I purchased the character but I already own them? Thankfully, in Nikke, they actually get converted into dupes. So if you're purchasing a character that looks like this, and the thing looks like this, I guess the character you're purchasing looks like this, that means you're either buying the character because you don't have them, or if you do have them, it does actually get converted into dupes, which look like these with the character's face on it. Right, so golden tickets, the golden mileage tickets are what you use to buy these, and then the silver tickets are what you use to buy dupes, and this goes random. These are random. These are not based on characters on your wish list. This is random. This changes every day. As you guys see, there's a timer here for a reason. Every day this would switch between different characters. So If there is a character, a regular standard pull character that you want to get dupes for, you're just going to have to come and check here every single day until you see the character you're looking for. Now, note, not every single standard pull character is here. There are a pilgrim here, or there is one pilgrim here named Noah, but there's not every single standard pull character's spare body part on here, so definitely keep that in mind. Another thing to note is that pity does transfer. As a beginner, you need to know that. So let's say I have 200 of these golden tickets. No matter what the character is, if they're a limited, pilgrim, or non-limited character, 200 golden tickets is all you need to guaranteed get the character. So as long as you have 200 golden ticket, you can save it for 10 years, and then in 10 years from now, you can use it and buy the character of your choice. Of course, I would highly recommend to save this for only pilgrims and limiteds, because characters who are not pilgrim or limited, like I said before, get put into the standard banner and you can just put them on your wish list, right? But it doesn't make the most sense to save these for the characters that you can't put on the wish list. Now, let's say you've, done your campaign and you've hit a wall. What should you be focusing on? Well, there's a couple things you need to look at all the time, or at least come to and take a look at it once in a while. One, your outpost defense. If you guys take a look down here, mine is at 100%, and that's a no-no. This is basically one of those idle systems where over time, it's going to be collecting mats. Once you claim it, boom, it'll give you mats, and then the timer will restart again. I believe it takes, I want to say 12 hours to fully go up. I'm not sure exactly how long it takes to fully go up, but over time you're going to be collecting materials. And then always make sure you click out the wipeout option, because they give you one free wipeout every single day. Now, should you be using your gems for wipeout? That's really up to you. I wouldn't really recommend it. If anything, you kind of have to do it the one time when you get to elevator, which I will talk about in a bit, but wipeout is not really necessary. You're going to get the mats over time regardless. But if you do want to wipe out, just probably do it one time after the free. Now, let's talk about the outpost. This is probably one of the most important things, because this is how you kind of get your group level up going, right? Nikke has a system where you don't actually have to level up every single character you pull. You just have to level up a certain amount of them. So in the outpost, we have something called the synchro device. What the synchro device is it takes your 5 most leveled up characters, and then obviously the characters you put in the synchro device will mimic those characters that are highly leveled up, right? So let's say I have 4 characters level 100 and then 1 character level 90. Because there's 1 character level 90, that's the lowest level. Basically, everybody in the synchro device would be level 90 until that character gets to, the same level as everyone else, right? So you kind of want to level up every character. It depends on how you really want to go about it, but I would personally recommend to level up every character like one by one as you go. If you are going to be using the synchro device method, that's at least what I did, and I don't think it was a problem at all. I think most people did that in the game, so it might not be a problem realistically. I mean, I'm not sure how everybody did it, but I think most people did it like that, including myself. Now, you're going to learn about this yourself while playing, but you also have the recycling room. This is where you kind of get your levels going, not in terms of the character level, but in terms of stat levels, right? So once you get to the recycling room, you have the general research, supporter, attacker, and defender research, and then you have the Elysium, Missilist, Tetra, Pilgrim, and abnormal research, right? So basically, anybody within these classes will level up their stats, right? So for example, anybody in the game who's an attacker, while leveling this up, they will get HP and defense stats. Anybody who is a defender will get HP and defense stat, and same thing goes for the supporters. HP and defense stat increase based on the level. The general research is just overall, so every single Nikke that you own, no matter where they're from. And then obviously this is the manufacturing. So the difference is these are their typings. Attacker, defender, and supporter are their typings. And then Elysium, Missilist, Tetra, Pilgrim, and Abnormal are their class. So anybody within the Abnormal manufacturing group, that's what it's called in this game, those characters will get attack and defense stat. Anybody in the Pilgrim will get attack and defense, and so on and so on. So it's really is simple. Just make sure you guys are looking at this when you do have the mats, or if you're not sure, just come back and take a look at this from time to time, because you might have these materials where you can actually purchase from the shop. The re-energy, you can purchase this from the shop. Not going to get into that right now, but if you want these, you can purchase it from the shop. But I actually wouldn't recommend it. So let's just go to the shop so I can tell you what you should be buying. Now, in the body label shop, we're only going to be talking about this shop because this is the most important shop out of all the shops, in my opinion. This is where your duped characters, I want to say max duped characters, their usefulness comes in, right? Let's say you have a R or a SR maxed out and you keep pulling them. guess what happens? You get these, what's this currency even called? I'm not sure myself. You get body labels. Now with body labels, you can buy all the materials you need for the recycling shop, which is what I just talked about, or high quality modes. Now out of everything here, I highly recommend buying nothing else besides the high quality mode. The reason is because high quality modes, when you have 50 of these, you can actually go ahead and get yourself an SSR that is not a limited or not a pilgrim. Now the one downside about this is that it's not guaranteed an SSR. You actually have a 61% chance of getting an SSR, but you can get shafted on these and get a SR with the 39% chance. It really doesn't make sense. We are begging the community, or not the community, but the company to kind of fix this, right? We should be guaranteed SSRs, especially if we have to wait a while to get these, right? I believe if you have 12Ks, you can get 50. Well, I don't have enough, but if I had literally just slightly a bit more, I could get a full high quality mode going and show you guys exactly what it looks like. But no, there are two of these actually. There's a high quality mode where, again, there's an SSR one, and then they have a regular one, which is the mid quality mode. Now you can actually get SSRs here as well, but the rates are lower. It's 21% for an SSR, and then obviously it is 79% for an SR. So there's a way higher chance of getting an SR here than you can get an SSR, but you can still get an SSR, which is nice in my opinion. But when it comes to the high quality mode, what they need to do is change that to a guaranteed SSR. Now the Arc is another place that is very, very important for progression. Now there are Tribe Tower, Simulation Room, Interception, and Lost Sectors. A few of these are like kind of daily things. Realistically, everything here besides the Lost Sector is a daily thing. So every time I reset, once you've completed this, you have to wait till the next reset to redo it and then re-get the match. You've seen this in a lot of these types of games. But if you don't know what it is, I just basically explained it, right? So in Interception, this is where you're actually going to farm the gear that you need to give to characters. There are gears for characters. This is a beginner's guide, so I don't want to talk too much about gear. There are gear guides out there. I personally have my own as well. If you guys want to check it out, I'll, hopefully I remember to leave everything down in the comments. But you can farm gear off of this. There is D level, S level, and then Interception EX. You're not really going to focus on special Interception EX because this is more of an end game thing. It's not going to take you guys long to get there, but it is more of an end game thing. S rank and level D is where you guys are mainly going to be at. Now, when you are a new player, you are actually just only going to have level D out. When you have level D out, you want to farm this up until you unlock level S. Right, the moment you unlock level S, you want to instantly ditch level D, because even the lowest level of completing level S gives you more than the highest level of level D. And the same thing goes for the special Interception. So the moment you now be in S, you go do Interception EX. So you literally do this as they unlock. If you have D open, you do D. If you have S open, you never do D and you only do S. If you have the highest one, which is Interception EX, special Interception, basically, you always do that over S and D. It's quite as simple as that. Tribe Tower, this is kind of more of the gem bank. This is where you're going to farm your currency to do summons, right? You do get other things here, but this is mainly the gem bank, as I like to call it. So there's 5 different type of tribe towers. There's the general tribe, the tribe tower, and then the manufacturing class tribe tower. So how the regular one works is that you can literally use any character in the game and then progress to as high as you possibly can go in the tower. You've seen this before. And then there are the class ones where you're forced to use only characters from that class. These have a schedule. So you can't do the pilgrim one whenever you want. You have to wait for them to unlock, and they tell you here when they unlock, right? So the next one that's going to open is the Elysion. After that, it's going to be the MS. And I believe on only Saturdays for me, EST, North America, all opens on Saturday. That's where they're all open. But basically look up here to see when the next one opens so that you know which one to do. Ideally, be in your best interest to do every single one of them every single day. But if you can't, that's okay as well. You're not really losing much. Technically, you're losing gems. You're not really losing gems, but you are. If you can't beat it, that's a different story. But if you are able to beat it, I would highly recommend to come and do this every time, because there's only, if you guys look at the bottom there, for the class ones, there is a limit, only 3 times a day, not infinite the entire day, only 3 times a day. So you miss out on the day and you could have cleared it, you missed out on some gems, and then you have to wait until it opens again for you to do those gems that you could have been had if you did it beforehand. And simulation room, another very important thing. This is where you farm, skill levels, right? So of the highest difficulty, this is where you find skill materials for skill levels, right? If you guys go to the characters, I never really talked about them, but if you go to the characters, your characters have skills that need to be leveled up, right? Let me go to a character who's not fully leveled up, like this. You're going to need these materials to level up their skills. The higher the skills, the better the character. And some characters' effects actually change based on a certain level. For example, if we go to one of the newer characters, let me find her. Tia, her effect doesn't really change, but if you have her first skill at specifically level 7, the cooldown of this goes to 13 seconds, where every other level under level 7 stays at 10 seconds. So there's some characters where you need to specifically have a level for them to truly work, and Tia is one of those characters. You're not gonna have to worry about this character as a newer player, maybe because her banner is out right now, but she doesn't work unless you have another character. We're not gonna get into all that. And then of course, there's just a simple event. So currently we have the ACPU freeze event. There's always an event out, so you're probably gonna know more about this obviously as you progress, but the event is just where you go ahead, you just do very easy. These are very easy to complete, right? 18k power, this is hard mode. 18k power is like where most of you guys would probably be at. I think the highest level is like maybe 40,000 or 20,000 power if I remember correctly. But yeah, these are not very hard. They're just to help you progress. And then when you do these, you get materials that you can exchange in the shop for currency, right? You can exchange it for tickets on the regular banner or the limited banner. There are two different types of tickets. I didn't mention that, but the rainbow one are for the, rate up banners, and then the blue ones are for the regular banners. You can buy skill materials here, and then also recycling room materials here, right? So this is the best way to get recycling room materials. Wouldn't really recommend it to get it from the shop, the body label shop. Recommend to get it from these events, right? Because they're just much easier to get, right? Very, very efficient. Now, one of the most important things that is probably going to wrap up this video is friends. Surprisingly, in this game, friends actually do matter, right? The power of friendship. So you kind of want to have friends in this game, because when you have friends, you can actually send and receive hearts. With hearts, you can actually use hearts to summon on the friendship banner. And in this game, we have enough, so I'll show you guys in a second. In this game, the friendship banner is not really that bad. If the regular banner and the rate up banners are 4%, guess what percent it is for the friends? It's not 4%, but it's 2%, right? It's 2% for, again, any character that is not a limited, but the only downside to the friendship summons is that there are no pilgrims here as well. Don't worry, pilgrims are not the only good characters in the game. A lot of the best characters in the game are on these banners. For example, Blanc and Noir, if you have them together, right? Litter, top 3 character in the game, and another character, Alice, if you have her invested. Same as Maxwell, Privity. There's so much stuff going on, so definitely keep that in mind. But let's do a summon, see if we can get anything. There's a character I'm missing named Yan. She's not really that good, but I do want to collect everybody. Oh, we got something. So gold does mean you get an SSR. This is not it. There's no real animations. If you get gold, you've gotten something. So boom, maybe I can get her. Elysion, that is not her, but we did end up getting Inua, and she sucks ass, all right? So there's tier lists as well. If you guys want to know what the characters are good in this game and not, go ahead and take a look at this. Right now, you guys know this is not one of those characters. She sucks heavily. But as you see, I already own her, so I got a dupe. That is what that is. And then for the characters you already own, fully duped up, which SRs are fully duped and Rs are fully duped, you get these, which are body labels. So I'm glad I was able to show you guys that in this video. Now, there is one more thing I can't really show you guys because I already completed it. But if you guys are new and you take a look to your left corner here, you're going to see something called the day-by-day event. In that event, you farm out, day-by-day missions to guarantee yourself Privity. Privity is one of the best characters in the game. This character's first skill alone is better than most characters' entire kit. The fact that she's free is insane. Not to mention, you're playing during the anniversary, she did finally get a new skin. And this skin is amazing. So if you guys want to go ahead and buy this skin as well, by all means, you can get that skin from the battle pass. In terms of what you should be buying in this game and stuff like that, not going to get into that. But hopefully I covered all the important things you need to know as a beginner. just always remember to keep progressing, and as long as you have the patience, you're going to be able to get through Nikke. It's not really a tough game until you get to end game, right? I didn't talk about solo raids or union raids because that has nothing to do with beginners. Oh, but there is one more thing. I almost let it slip by me. There is one more thing, and it's very, very important. Now, as a beginner, you don't have to worry about it too much. Oh, there's a day-by-day mission right here, actually. This is the day-by-day mission I was talking about. But as a new player, you don't have to worry about this too much, but definitely keep it in the back of your head. So in this game, as a community, we have a term called the 160 wall. And essentially, when your characters hit level 160, Nikke is actually going to cap you at the 160 wall until you meet their requirements. And the requirement is to own 5 SSR characters that are max limit broken. If you don't know what max limit broken is by now, what that is 3 dupes. So for example, A2, this is a collab character from Nier. You probably know who this is. You're not able to get her whenever you want. It was a collab. But these right here, these stars up here, you see how I have 3 of them? That's max limit broken. You need to have 5 characters who have a minimum of 3 stars, right? Characters like Kiri here, for example, who have no stars, do not cut it. Characters who have 1 star, for example, who has 1 star? Anise here, do not cut it. Characters who have 2 stars, like Dorothy here, do not cut it. They need to have either 3 star or anything higher, which is core and whatever the number is for you guys. So definitely keep that at the back of your mind. When it comes to the wish list, I made a guide on this, but you probably want to have your wish list set and not change it until you own 5 characters max limit broken. So again, go ahead and take a look at tier lists of the game. Go ahead and take a look at some people's tier lists. You can use my tier list if that is what you want to look at. That's something that me and the community came up with together. Or you can go to a very popular website that most people are familiar with called Pridewin. I always have the link to that in the description. They have a very good tier list as well. But make sure you guys go ahead, and when you do have your wish list set, I highly recommend to leave it until you own 5 characters from your wish list max limit broken, 5 of them, so that you don't have to worry about the 160 wall, right? Don't change it because you pulled the character, and don't change it to a new character, because you getting a new character is not going to matter if you're not going to be able to get past the 160 wall. When you're stuck at the 160 wall, the only thing you can rely on really is the outpost rewards for level up materials, because you're not going to be able to progress if you're stuck, right? You're going to hit a cap for sure. It's just how it is. So definitely keep that at the back of your mind. Oh, I should have probably started off with that. That's probably one of the most important things to remember. But as a beginner, like I said, you don't have to worry about it too much. You definitely just need to know about it. So hopefully I went over all the important things, right? There are some things that I didn't talk about, like how to get gems or what you should be doing with gear and stuff like that. Because as a beginner, besides the gem one, realistically, you don't have to worry about all that extra stuff, right? And in terms of how you get gems, I talked about in this video. Just play the game, progress, and you will get the gems, right? And especially the content that I touched on in this video, you get gems from those specific content. If you want to know how to get more gems, check out my gem guide or anybody else's gem guide. But for now, it's your boy Zxous. Almost wrapped up the video there. One more thing. Now, I don't know if this is really going to be something as a beginner that you need to worry about, but you have the elevator. The elevator is where you can get a free character of your choice. Not any character in the game, but a free character. We have Liberations, not the Drum of Liberations from One Piece, but Liberations, right? This is really not... I mean, you unlock this early on, so I want to say it's a beginning thing. You get to choose between 3 characters, Sin, Quincy, and Guilty, and then basically you just do daily missions every day, and then you unlock them for free. So the best one to go for is Guilty. If you want to know which one is the best one to go for, her name is Guilty. Let me show you guys what she looks like. This is Guilty. She is easily the best one to go for, but besides that, that is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I made sure to touch on all the important things. Now for a fact, I know I did. Make sure you guys subscribe and like. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. I'm out later. Peace. I almost ended the video again. Up here, your missions. I'm sure you guys already know this and I don't need to tell you guys about it, but let me just let you guys know. If you see your missions with a, a little red icon there, by all means, go ahead and click it, because you most likely have something to claim. There's weekly, dailies, main, and challenges. This is another place where you get gems, but mainly focus on your weekly and dailies. Alrighty, that's the end of the video. I'm out. Peace.